Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and thank you so much for joining today. Thank you. If you are new here and you didn't know, this is the Anointing Village YouTuber and my name is Milton Fonkwa. For my returning subscribers, I want to say I'm so grateful for you coming back. Thank you so much for being on the platform. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about studies in Luxembourg, cost of living, visa application, programs, okay, and admissions, or let me say the language. So today we are going to be talking about studies in Luxembourg, visa application, and everything I told you before. But before we move detailing, let me say, for those who didn't know, Luxembourg is a European country, okay? Luxembourg is a member of the European Union. It is a member of the NATO group. It is also a member of the United Nations, okay? So it belongs to this group. And Luxembourg is a country, a small landlocked, all right? It's just a small country with a population of about 600,000 plus inhabitants, okay? So it's not a big country, but trust me, Luxembourg has the highest GDP per capita income, okay? Let me say, or capital output, or GDP is the gross domestic product. That is what it is called. And Luxembourg is a small landlocked country in Europe with neighbors like France, Germany, Belgium, Portugal, as I can put it, okay? And universities in Luxembourg do offer masters, bachelors, masters, and PhD programs. And some of these programs, or let me say most of these universities, do not have the same tuition fee. Actually, schools in Luxembourg are not that expensive, okay? So schools are not expensive in Luxembourg. They do not have the same tuition fee, and some of the things you need to know is that most international students choose Luxembourg because of the tuition fee, also the high standard of education, okay? Degrees from Luxembourg are highly qualified in as much as Luxembourg have a high minimum pay rate, or let me say, if you are working in Luxembourg, you tend to earn a lot of money, all right? We all know that Luxembourg has is a developed country and their economic is highly stable. As you all know, it is not a big country. There are maybe plus 600,000 individuals, 700,000 or plus, but it's not a big country, okay? So you need to know that. University admission in Luxembourg usually starts very early, sometimes February, okay, and it ends most of the times early April, all right? So when you want to apply for universities in Luxembourg, always check the school websites, all right, to know the official dates. It is easy to check, right? You just go to Google. Let me say you go to Google, you just type, maybe if you are looking for the University of Luxembourg, which is the one I'm going to be talking about here, you just type the University of Luxembourg, all right? Everything is going to pop up. Then you click on the link. Simple. You follow the requirements, follow the procedures. But in case you don't find a university to apply for in this country, all right, or let me say, if you don't find a link, if you have a university, because there are many schools in Luxembourg, if you don't find a link to apply to any of these schools in this country, you can use freeapply.com, okay? The link is going to be in the video description, so do not bother about the spelling, all right? Use freeapply.com to apply for any university you can't find the link, all right, on the school website. Then, but for freeapply.com, some of you will ask, I don't know, go to my channel. There is a video on how to use freeapply.com, okay? Freeapply.com is simply just an outside website that you can use to process your university applications, okay? So with no further ado, just go there and you check freeapply.com. Now, talking about some of the programs the University of Luxembourg offers, all right? Before I forget, if you are applying for a bachelor's program in Luxembourg, you first of all must have graduated from a high school, okay? For those in Cameroon, I think you need to show possession of your high school certificates, okay? in order, your ordinary levels and your advanced level, in order to apply for a bachelor's degree in Luxembourg. Okay. Again, those who are applying for master's programs, you need to show possession of your high school certificate, your ordinary levels or your advanced level certificate together with a bachelor's degree, okay, and a certificate and a transcript if you want to apply for a master's degree in Luxembourg. Okay, those for PhD, you also need to show plus a master's degree before you can apply for a PhD program. And you also need to understand that in Luxembourg they speak 3 languages. Okay, they speak the Dutch language, they speak Dutch, they speak German, and they speak French. Okay, so the people in Luxembourg, they are mostly used to the French culture, the Dutch. Yeah, guys. So most times you will find mostly the Germans dominating. All right. Let me say the language. So if you are going to Luxembourg, know that you are either going to learn a language or you are going to be versed in 3 or more languages. All right. So that is what you need to know. Then now let's talk about the applications. I mentioned the application requirements for Cameroonians. For Nigerians, you are going to be needing what is called the WAEC certificate or the NECO or something like that in order to apply for your bachelor's degree programs. If you want to apply for a master's, then you are going to then add your bachelor's degree attestation and a transcript. All right. Then now for the programs mostly taught at the University of Luxembourg, they have more than 10 different programs ranging from architecture, physics, accountancy, and auditing. All right. They also do have data science. They have mathematics, masters in civil engineering. All right, and mega structures. They also do have space engineering. They also have computer engineering and science and technology. They also have medicine, biomedical sciences. All right. They also have integrated system biologies and things like that. And most times, their tuition fee range from 200 euros per semester. Remember, I said tuition varies per semester, and tuition fee in Luxembourg is not that expensive. Tuition fee for a program like Masters in Integrated Biology Systems or Integrated Systems Biology, and that of biomedicine, okay, and also information and computer technologies, you might tend to pay 200 euros or plus, all right. And a program like architecture is not 200 euros, it is 500 euros or plus. Remember, as a little disclaimer here, these prices are not fixed, okay. So you can find the prices ranging at different semesters, or let me say they can differ. All right, at this semester you can have a program that is 200 euros, then next semester you will have another one that is like 500 euros. Especially programs that are business related, they are highly expensive. All right, so always check the school website, or you consult the school administration before you apply for a program. All right, at the University of Luxembourg. All right, now let's talk about the cost of living. I already talked about their program, so now let's talk about the cost. Cost is Luxembourg, as I said, is not that expensive in terms of tuition fee. All right, it is same. I think they have almost the same procedure like Austria, though not free. Okay, so if you are applying to a university in Luxembourg, first of all, you need a visa to go to Luxembourg. Okay, European Union students don't need visas to enter into Luxembourg, but students from Africa and other countries or other continents or some students from other continents will need visas to enter into Luxembourg. I hope that is clear. Now, if you are applying for Luxembourg or a university in Luxembourg, know that the currency they use there is a euro. All right, as I said, Luxembourg, their GDP is so high. All right, before I used to think that it's Singapore who is topping in terms of GDP rankings. All right, but I came to realize that it's Luxembourg. So they use the euro, and tuition fee in Luxembourg depends on the level of education. All right, let me say you might tend to spend like per course. All right, it depends on the level and the course, or let me say also the level in which you are, and sometimes you will spend like 450 to maybe 600 euros, all right, for a program. And again, business related programs, as I said, they are highly expensive. So before you apply for a school or a university in a business program, always note this down. They are highly expensive, and you tend to spend like maybe 4,800 to like 5,700 euros, okay, a year. And you also need to note that for a year, that is per semester, as I mentioned, sorry, okay, for business related programs. Now for a year, you are going to be spending like 15,000 euros plus, all right, so for business programs. But for the other programs, they are somehow cheap. I understand business, they have a lot of things, or a lot of things they are going to consider, all right, during the study period. So you need to know that. Then now for accommodation, universities in Luxembourg do have student hostels or student housing that they can host you as an international student. So for now, if you are looking for a university dormitory, you are going to be spending like maybe 400 to 600 euros, okay. But if you decide to stay out of campus, okay, you are going to spend maybe less or more. It depends. Remember, buildings out of let me say accommodation or housing out of campus is somehow expensive or somehow cheap, depending on two factors: the age of the building, okay, and the location of the building too. Or it also depends if the building is or let me say if the apartment is furnished or unfurnished. Furnished apartment means that there are beds, there are cupboards, there are everything, chairs inside. Unfurnished means that you will not find those stuff, all right. So according to my research, I came to realize that accommodation is not even a problem in Luxembourg compared to Austria, but feeding, or let me say cost of living in general, is usually the problem. Remember, countries which have let me say countries with higher payment rates or high GDP will automatically be very expensive in their big cities, and a big city like the Luxembourg city is highly expensive, okay. So my advice, if you are going to Luxembourg, look for schools which are far away from Luxembourg city. They will tend to be cheap in terms of everything compared to the schools in Luxembourg, like the University of Luxembourg, okay. I hope you understand what I mean. So you need to know that. And students also who have admissions or who are to study in Luxembourg, there is also this policy that they need to know. If you have an admission and you will be studying in Luxembourg, know that you are entitled to a medical report, or they call it a student insurance or medical insurance, okay. And you are going to be paying for that every month. I think every student in the European Union is entitled to a medical insurance or something. So sometimes it is they have cards that they will automatically give to you to be using, all right. So it is advantageous for you, and it is also advantageous if you own that card rather than owning other things, or let me say not having the card in person, okay. So know that if you are studying in Luxembourg, or if you are applying for a business related program, you are going to spend more than a student applying for architecture, mathematics, physics, chemistry, biomedicine, all right, biomedical sciences, or things like that. Now let's talk about the visa. I already talked about the cost of living, all right. So now let's talk about the visa. If you are to move to Luxembourg and you are from Africa, or an international student moving from Africa and some other continents, or let me say from other countries, you are going to need a visa, all right. And you are going to apply for the visa using the same documents you used to apply for your university admissions, okay. Remember, when you use your school documents to apply for your admission, always make sure you keep your documents, okay, your university certificates, I mean, and your passport again must be at least 6 months before you can apply for the visa. I think every country, or most countries in Africa, have embassies, the Luxembourg embassies, and for Cameroon, I don't think they have, but you can apply using the French embassy in Yaoundé, alright? Those in Cameroon, note that down. If the embassy of Luxembourg is not here, or any diplomatic mission, consult the French embassy, okay, or the embassy of France in Yaoundé, alright, for more information. For those of African countries, other African countries, you can always contact the embassy in your country. Again, you need to know that European Union students, citizens, do not need a visa. I mentioned that before. Then there are also 3 languages. Let me talk about the language now. In Luxembourg, as I said, they speak 3 languages. I talked about that before. They speak the French, the German, and their own language, the Luxembourgish. Alright, their own language is called the Luxembourgish. That is the language. Maybe it depends on the shape of my mouth or my pronunciation, but they have a language they speak, and it is called the Luxembourgish. Alright, and it is their mother tongue. From my findings, it is their mother tongue. So, but most times, university lectures are conducted in a bilingual way. Alright, what I mean is they can decide. Let me say they teach in French and English. They teach in German and English, and they teach in English and German or something. Alright, so that is their bilingual way of studies. But it doesn't mean that if you are applying there, you cannot have a university that you can study for English language. All right, you can go there, but remember the language might be a little bit of an error or a problem to you. But remember that before you apply, you must show a proficiency in any of this language, either a proficiency in English, proficiency in French, or a proficiency in language in the university that is going to be teaching you in that particular language. All right, so if you are applying to a German university or a German speaking institution in Luxembourg or a German program, show proficiency in the German language. All right, same thing applies for French proficiencies and English proficiencies. I hope you understand me. So that is what you need to know. And again, the biggest city is the Luxembourg city in Luxembourg, with a total population of about 116,000. All right, so because the total population in Luxembourg is not more than 1 million. All right, so you need to know that. So that is it for university application in Luxembourg. Luxembourg is a good country if you want to consider, all right, your studies. In terms of study purposes, is a good country. There are other countries, very good countries, like the United States, the United Kingdom, Austria, Germany, Sweden, Denmark, all right, Cyprus, Turkey, even Cameroon, all right, Morocco, Tanzania, Nigeria, Egypt. Those are other good countries too you can consider for study. But now it depends on the vision, all right, your plans, all right, your qualification, your finance, and so many other factors. All right, guys, please, if you are new on this platform, this is the Anointing Village YouTuber. My name is Milton Fonkwa, and as I said before, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and make sure you share these videos. For those who I have been able to answer your questions, thank you so much for your questions. And please, if you have a worry or a question or a thought, let me know in the comment section of this video, and make sure to share the video to families and friends. Until we meet again, guys, see you in another one. Peace.